Hello, this is Lighthouse Hall of Fame film in Prokhorovka encounter mode North Spawn, and we are in the European server with Friend of Fun and his AMX ELC Biffs. No artillery this game, so all those heavies and TDs are happy. One light apiece. Enemy team has 4 mediums and 3 TDs, and he has 1 medium and 2 TDs. Advantage? On most open maps, the advantage would go to the more mobile team, but on Proc and Fiery Salient, I think the advantage goes to the team with the heavies, because despite being wide open map, there's really not a lot of lateral mobility. You have the fight for the hill, the fight in the middle, and the sniper battle up and down Camper Road, so mobility doesn't come into play. I really think the advantage goes to all the heavies. He's going to head over toward probably E1. And doesn't look like there's a whole lot of tanks coming to help him. Maybe that Tiger 1's headed over this way. He's saying the Black Prince has to carry, and he doesn't realize yet that he's going to be the one that ends up carrying. As he pulls up into E1, he sees the T-34, so he doesn't pull up all the way. He's going to stay back to where he can shoot, I think, without being spotted. T-34 disappears, so now he moves up. He needs to get a spot on him again. And yep, Tiger 1's the only one headed over this way. Now he's going to back up and double bush the guy.
Ready to fire.
Blind shot gets the kill. Going to try to sneak in a shot in the Leopard, I think. But the guy disappears behind one of those little spurs and then running up and down the valley. So up, get some spots. There's the A44. Tiger's finally getting over into position to help out.
We didn't even scratch them.
His team's only sending 1 tank. Seriously? Now it's so far away they can't see. They're sending tanks up on the hill, but
Target acquired. I don't see the target.
so they have several tanks moving up on the hill. It's just so far away they're out of radio range, so you can't spot them.
Enemy is hit.
Gets a shot in the T-43. Gets seen, so he has to dive down into the middle. Just barely ahead of 2 shots coming in. He's just going to take his time, gets concealment, and probably move back up in spot. The enemy team doesn't realize they could attack right now and overwhelm Camper Road. All they know is they're taking some fire, and they're overestimating probably the amount of opposition they'd face if they just rushed. Because they could blow this side of the map away right now and win the fight.
Penetration.
He thought he was going to be seen, and now he is, because he moved. If he hadn't moved, he may not have been seen. Now he has a whole bunch of tanks going to be shooting at him.
Ready to fire. Target unlocked.
It's kill number 2. Meanwhile, his team is capping, which is actually a really bad idea, but it works out simply because the enemy team never realized they could blow away the West. And now they're going to start reacting to cap and end up giving friend to fun this excellent sniping position into the back of them.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Kill number 3.
Enemy is hit. Penetration.
By now, seeing the A43 over to the middle of the map, a friend to fun's pretty confident there's nobody left over here on the west side. He's going to move down to the south just to make sure and finds the PZ-34C. And this is a mismatch. That guy's going to die and never even know where the shot came from.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Got a 3-tank lead now. Just a matter of sorting out where the enemy tanks are and picking them off. Oh, 2 easy kills ahead of him. Churchill 1 dies first. And now the T-43, if he gets to shoot before anybody else does. And he doesn't. You figure the enemy tanks remaining are probably over by the hill. They all have kills. There's one guy on the crossing. Kill number 6. There's a Top Gun. 2 more potential kills to go. Black Prince is up on the hill. The Hellcat probably is too.
Their armor.
Ooh, and he gets spotted, so he backs out. There's the Hellcat.
Enemy armor
And now,
destroyed.
if he gets the Hellcat, it's a Radley Walters. So off he goes to the hill, towards glory. Or death. They're both one-shots to each other, so whoever hits first is going to get a kill. And he comes over the top of the hill. Kind of slid a little bit there into the other tank. Now, where's the Hellcat? Waiting for binoculars to turn on, doesn't see him, so he's going to press forward. And there he is. He gets the first shot, and he muffs it. And then there's a ram. Oh no! He tried to move in close to him, and then ended up bumping him and dying. Teammates finish off the Hellcat, so no harm, but you know he's pissed off right now. He's glad that he get back in the Hall of Fame because he's been going through a stretch where he just wasn't getting the super big scores. And he finally got another one, so he's happy about that. But then he just hit a chance for Radley Walters and missed it high and to the left, so he's going to be upset about that. I'm going to have to rag him when I go back to Europe later today to play. For the battle, 2,691 damage and 7 kills. 17 of 20 shooting for 85%. 1,630 assisted damage on 5 spots. Earned 39,581 credits. And he also earned 2,544 XP. Did not survive the fight, but he got a Top Gun and Tank Sniper medals along with Spotter, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser mini medals. That gives him a battle score of 2,599. Puts him into 7th place on the AMX ELC list. He went over to spot in E1, saw the T-34 in the way in, so instead of pulling all the way up in the bush, he just hung back and allowed the double bushes to provide cover for his shot. Had to pull up to gain sight on the T-34 again, backed up, took another shot and finished him off. Only had the Tiger 1 come over to help him out. So he was trying to double bush the mediums. He saw he got exposed once and he had to circle around and get concealment and move back up. Got several shots off up there before he got exposed again and almost died. He had multiple tanks shooting at him, but managed to evade them and get concealment back. And by that time, his team had started to cap, and the enemy team never realized they probably had 3-to-1 numbers along Camper Road, and so they never attacked. Instead, they moved back into the middle to help defend Cap, and that let him sit over there on the west flank and just snipe into the back of him. And he got several more kills that way. And then it was off to the south and to figure out where the last few tanks were, and it came down to basically what was a one-on-one against the Hellcat, and he missed his entry shot, which would have given him 8 kills in the Radley Walters. And then, to make matters even worse, he was trying to get in close so the Hellcat wouldn't be able to shoot him back, but the Hellcat backed up as he went forward, and they ended up ramming, and that wiped him out. So, great news and bad news at the same time. Overall, it was a good mission, so he can't feel too bad for himself. When you end up in a situation like that, you have a couple choices. Either you can stay over here and continue to spot, or you can move down in the middle and half-court spot. Now, he doesn't really have a great tank for half-court spotting, so he chose to stay up there. And this all came down to the fact that his team didn't really end up outplaying the enemy team. The enemy team just never realized the golden opportunity they had to run the western flank, and had they done that, they would have won the fight. So between the Tiger and him, they managed to lay down just enough fire to keep the enemy team from ever knowing how weak they were over there. And part of the blame there goes to the 1602, because he never spotted over here. He did his half-court spotting in this area, never really probed over here to see how many tanks were over there, and had he done that, they might have figured out there's only 2 tanks over here and we can wipe them out. So you saw Friend of Fun using the double bush technique, where you back up from the bush and ideally get another bush in between, so you have 2 bushes providing concealment while you fire quite effectively. And at the same time, you learn something that you need to do when you're half-court spotting the map, and that is you can't just stay in this area or in this area when you're half-court spotting. You have to extend your spotting routine all the way over close to Camper Road so that you can provide eyes over on this section or this section of the map. You have to give your team a good picture of what's going on over there so they can make better decisions as to what to do in the battle. So you saw one scout doing really well, the other scout kind of making a mistake in where he was spotting that, and it ends up giving not enough intel for the enemy team to make the correct decision, and because of that, they lose the fight, and they hand friend to fund all kind of damage and kills. From Prokhorovka encounter. Happy hunting.